CrossFit in 2012 on deployed in Kandahar. At one point, she was over 200 pounds. And here she is at regionals. And it's one of those stories where no matter where you start, you really don't have a limit if you put in the work.
She looked really strong and comfortable in that position, just making her way across the floor. It just doesn't look like she's all that stressed.
Rachel about one step away, and she takes on those 50 feet unbroken, and she'll be our third finisher. 20 minutes, 8 seconds. A very impressive way to close out this event. April Payne, our fourth finisher. About 2.5 minutes, a minute and a half until our time cap. A couple of athletes making their way through the final few feet. Taylor Rector in the black and green, lane number 12. Taylor Nisley, she'll come across 21:10. A couple seconds behind her will be Rector. We are fifth and sixth finishers, still 40 seconds remaining. We're probably going to get somewhere around 10 finishers here at number 1. Next of which will be Becca Merritt, just ahead of Kimberly Hill.
To left.
Seconds left. It's about 12 feet remaining for Mandy Newsom. Close to get past the line. She won't get past the line. Maybe get into
All right, last lap, then 10 muscle-ups.
Put in all that effort. Don't believe they're going to show her get into the finish pad in time, which if that's the case, it's just going to be 1 second penalty for not reaching the mat, but she did complete the work. And somebody else that completed all the work is Jessica Schwartz. She'll lead the way with 1 heat remaining after a finish of 18:41. So that'll be the time to meet at heat number 2, which is next. Two-person race up top. There's plenty of action below them for those 3 final qualifying spots. Brandon Domain, Rob Orlando, and Mike Arsenault with you. The Music City Center and Brooke Wells and Christy Aramo have completely separated themselves from the field. Amanda Barnhart is pretty comfortable in third, but then there's not much space between Michelle Fluminari, Jessica Griffith, and Jennifer Smith and Nicole Holcomb surrounding that cut line with our first 100 points available. Day number 3 coming in event number 5. Event number 5 is the 50s. 50 handstand push-ups, 50 toe squat, 50 calories on the assault bike, 50 dumbbell box step overs, and then we're going to Emma Chapman next door enters today. Smith and black again, break on the left side. Chapman in the blue tank top.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 50.
Amanda Price, lane number 20, one of the athletes out in front as well. She could be a bit of a spoiler roll here. And out of those in the top 5, the first one to advance to the toes to bar was Christy Aramo.
This movement should be really, really strong for her. As one of the smaller athletes, the levers are shorter. She's not that heavy, so it's easier to hang on, less taxing on the grip. You can see she's doing a great job of stringing those together.
The one thing I'm noticing here is a lot of the athletes are making contact with their toes exactly onto the bar. Aramo is really hitting with all sorts of ankle.
That might be just because she's really flexible and mobile. She can fold herself in half and get those toes way above the bar. As long as we make contact at the same time, the rim counts.
Already onto the bike in lane number 19, Kelly Jackson, and that's not much of a surprise. If anybody was going to sneak out to this early lead with handstand push-ups and toes to bar, is Jackson very good with the gymnastic movements. Next onto the bike is going to be Emma Chapman. As Jackson first, there she is. Chapman in the blue tank top, black pants. And Emma Chapman might be the sneaky one here in this one. As she comes into today quietly in 8th place, she'll have to make up some ground. She's 42 points out. She's been on a pretty good roll. 2 top 10 finishes, including a 4th place finish in event number 3. Speaking of quiet, Amanda Barnhart, she won event number 4. Until then, we may have mentioned her a couple of times in the lead up to this, and she's sitting pretty solidly in 3rd place. She's 58 points clear of Jennifer Smith in 6th.
What jumps off the page to me, Brandon, is how valuable first place is. In event 4, she took first place, earned herself 100 points. That is a gigantic swing.
Speaking of points, the woman that needs to be mindful of them all day long, entering today in 5th is Jessica Griffith, and she's going to be one of the last 4 still working on the toes to bar. And she's only a few points up on Jennifer Smith, as Griffith is currently on the cut line, sitting in 5th. Now, just with the way that she's built, she's one of the taller athletes in the field. We spoke about this on the
2 left.
side. She's somebody that might just want to be surviving and keeping it close on this front half of the event.
Oh yeah, what we saw in the first women's heat was that we were on the bikes for 6+ minutes, which means that there's lots and lots of time to make up here. So if she can push a little bit harder than some of the other girls on the bike and just keep everyone within striking distance, the taller athlete, it might pay dividends on the backside of this event where you're working.
Okay, last lap and 50 ring dips.
So a woman 1 spot out, and this is a familiar position for Jennifer Smith, who always seems to be in the mix. Whether she makes it or not is the question when it comes to regionals.
With the 6th, 14th, 11th, and 12th, she's in the running. She's up around that. What we're really missing there is one of those high ranks, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, to bounce her up in the points.
5.5 minutes into this 22-minute time cap event. The handstand push-ups and toes to bar are complete for our leaders. They're currently working on a 50-calorie assault bike. Following this, that's when the dumbbells get involved. 50 box step overs with a dumbbell in each hand, then a 50-foot right arm overhead lunge, and then a 50-foot left arm overhand lunge. To close out this event, they're chasing the time of 18:41. Now, Saturday, typically known as moving day, and the woman that was on the move, Nicole Holcomb, 2-time games athlete, missed last year with a back injury. She's sitting in 7th place, not far out, 26 points behind Jessica Griffith.
Yesterday, she did a great job with a 2nd and a 10th. She did a really stellar effort putting herself in position on day 3.
Michelle Fumagalli making a name for herself this weekend. The athlete had a CrossFit Thunderbolt coming into today in 4th. She's only 2 points ahead of Jessica Griffith, who holds that 5th spot. So she's not in any comfort spot right now. She seems to be laboring a little bit here, taking the hands off the handles. I'm not sure if that's anything where she's trying to save grip or if she's just feeling this one early.
It looks like she's breathing really, really heavy. And to me, it looks like she's just trying to catch her breath, so she'll lay into that pedal for a stroke or two and then recover.
Two judges' hands up, one of which being one of the athletes, one spot out. Jennifer Smith with the judges' hand up. Actually, take that back. It's Emma Chapman with the judges' hand up. Just realized where the judge was looking. As Emma Chapman might be making the move